Hope you guys are having a great week so far. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that Amazon messed up my Dragon Age 2 pre-order, which made me extremely mad. And I didn't get it the day of release, but I did get it this Saturday, and seriously, that's all I've been doing since. I did take one small little break and went and saw Battle LA, which honestly I felt like it was just it was very predictable. It felt like I'd seen that exact same movie about 100 times before. The story was uninteresting. The characters, I could have cared less about the characters. It was mindless fun though. A lot of explosions, a lot of death. But it kind of felt like I was sitting through a 2-hour-long recruitment video. Yeah, I didn't mind the alien robot mech droid looking things. Those are kind of cool. But the whole anatomy scene where they're trying to steal our water, that was just stupid. I swear, every single one of these movies that come out, they're trying to find some new explanation on why the aliens are taking over. And, yeah. Oh, and I guess that was a spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, but really, they talk about it once, and they never touch on it again. So, I guess it's not really a spoiler, because it had nothing to do with the movie. It was just a bunch of army dudes yelling, "Duck! Cover! Shoot! Look out!" And that's pretty much all the dialogue. And I've been playing a lot of Dragon Age, like I said before, a lot of Dragon Age 2. In fact, I probably look a little tired today. I was up till 7:30 a.m. last night, or this morning, playing Dragon Age all night. I just can't stop. It is an addiction, but I love it. It's a great addiction to have. And I'm not going to tell you what I think so far, because that's coming up for review later, so you'll have to stick around. Real quick about this week's chat, I'm moving it to this Wednesday instead of Thursday. It's going to be the same time, though, Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific time, instead of Thursday. I promised I was going to do a chat this week, and then I swear, I checked my email after last week's chat after promising I was going to do it, and I had an event to go to, this Thursday from, I think it's 2 to 5, which would make me completely miss the chat. So, I'm going to do it on Wednesday instead, and we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, enough rambling. Let's get your questions. Score56 asks, what did I think of God of War Goes to Sparta, which was the PSP version of God of War? I really liked it. I'm not a PSP fan. Most PSP games are, condensed versions of games I already have. And they just take PSN games and kind of poorly port them onto PSP. And I'm just not a PSP fan. Whatever. But, Ghost of Sparta was one of the very few titles on PSP that actually held its own and was totally worth the money. So, plus it's God of War. I love God of War. King Louis 51 asks the most impossible question to answer ever, which is, what do you think is the greatest game ever made? That really depends, because there are games back in my childhood that I loved that I would definitely say were some of my favorite games ever, like Mario 64 and, oh God, now that you asked me, I can't even think of any. But, there are tons of amazing, amazing games. But they were amazing for the time, And Mario 64 to someone who'd never played it, it's really not much of anything compared to Mario Galaxy. And there are some games that when came out when we were little, they were so amazing and they just don't hold up. But that doesn't mean they weren't great games. They were great games for the time. So I can't answer, the best game ever made ever. I think currently the best game for the current times is Uncharted 2. That game had the graphics, the dialogue, the acting, the characters, the environment, the gameplay. That game was a 10 across the board. But ask me again in 10 years, and that answer will probably change. So that's an impossible question to ask. I could go through and tell you what game was the best game on each system, but not overall. That's really hard. Ty Davis wants to know what I think about Activision canceling DJ Hero and Guitar Hero. Those franchises were dead already. It was about time Activision trimmed some fat and decided to quit releasing, mundane crap. Tony Hawk series? That series has been dead for a long time. A long time. Guitar Hero? Really? Rock Band has definitely nailed the last nail in that coffin. And DJ Hero has a small group of really dedicated fans, but I play, it's like one of the games. You play for an hour and you're sitting there and you're playing with the little board and then you're done with it. And you're like, okay, that's it. And so, in my opinion, yeah, whatever. No one was playing those games anyways. He also asks if I'll be signing up for the new MMO, Rift. I'll tell you what, I really, really want to play Rift. I went to a press event where we sat down for like 2 hours and got to play it. Loved it. Signed up for the beta, crashed my PC hardcore. Like, completely destroyed my PC. I had to restore, like, factory default on my laptop. It destroyed it. And the scary thing is a lot of friends in the industry that jumped in on an early version of the game, it destroyed their PCs as well. I think at least 4 or 5 different people I've talked to who said that as soon as they installed it, it just wrecked everything and they had to completely clean out their computers, like completely. So, that being said, even though I really want to play it, I'm not going to risk downloading it again or installing it again. No thanks. Looks like a good game though. Ty Davis also asks if I've ever read any of the Halo novels. No, not a Halo fan. Definitely don't care about reading about Master Chief's adventures. I don't even know if it's got Master Chief in it. I'm just guessing. Because that'd be silly to make a Halo book without Master Chief, because, I don't know, he's kind of like the poster child, right? Sebastian F. asks, do you like Demon Souls, or what do you think about Dark Souls? I haven't played Demon Souls yet. It's on my to-play list, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So, I don't know much about Dark Souls yet, either, because I haven't really been following it. So, I guess I can't really give a good answer there. He also asks, in honor of the 25th anniversary of Legend of Zelda, which is your favorite in the series, and why? You know, I say often that I think Zelda is definitely one of the series that kind of needs to die for a little bit. Not for good, you know, it just needs to take a nap. Because they've really, really been just pumping that game out on the, like, you know, with the Game Boy Advance and the DS and the Wii's getting another installment, and it seems like every new Zelda game, it's like a baby step better, and sometimes a huge step back for the last one. Remember back in the day where Zelda would come out and it was a huge, amazing new adventure, and now it's kind of like, oh, it's Zelda again. Yeah, stop with the Zelda games for a little bit, but that wasn't the question. The question is my favorite one. Everybody thinks I'm going to say Ocarina of Time, but you're wrong. I'm going to say Majora's Mask. I loved Majora's Mask. There was just something so charming about it. To me, it had more character than any of the previous games. But then secondly, I'm going to have to say Wind Waker, which a lot of people hated. I really liked it. I don't know. And it seems like the longer time that goes since Wind Waker was out, the more people are going back and saying, you know what, I actually kind of liked it. Yeah, I talked shit about it then, but I like it. I always liked it. I thought it was adorable. Sammy T asks, what kind of job do you have exactly? Well, Sammy T, my job is a video game journalist. I write reviews, I do video reviews, and that is my job. Mainly I do freelancing now, where I'm not tied to just one site. I can write reviews for a bunch of different sites, or I can do video reviews for a bunch of different sites. And that's just a little more fun. Definitely like doing video more. I started out on the writing side. I've been published in GamePro and EGM and on Machinima and GameZone and a handful of other sites and magazines. And that's fun. I do love writing, but video is definitely my first love. So, yeah, I guess that's my title, Rachel, the video game journalist. Lastly, DeGossier, or is it just simpler and just say DeGosser? I don't know, I might have just mispronounced it twice. So DeGosser 187. What is your all-time favorite retro classic game, and when's the last time you played it? When I was really little, okay, so are we talking arcade, or are we talking, like, just retro system game? Because if we're talking retro system, I'm going to go all the way back to Pitfall, which was the game that got me into gaming. Pitfall was just the game that started it for me. My dad brought home an Atari 2600, and I jumped on it and couldn't stop. And little naive, sweet Rachel thought that I could beat Pitfall. I'd play it for hours on end. I'd play it and I'd play it and I'd play it and I'd play it. I'm gonna beat this game. I'm gonna beat this game. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna beat it. And then, come to find out, there is no ending. Pitfall doesn't end. And it crushed my little heart. My little brand new baby gamer heart was crushed. But that just kind of fueled me to want to play more. I was like, okay, so this game can't be beaten. Forget it then. Let's move on to other games. And I just started playing more, and then I got the NES, and then, I got the Super NES, and then I got, like, the Genesis, I think, came next, and, it just, yeah, I just didn't stop, and I loved it. And so yeah, Pitfall is my favorite retro console game. Last time I played it, oh god, I probably way back then. If we're talking arcades, I'm gonna go with Galaga and Cruisin'. Oh my god, Cruisin' was my game when I was little. I loved that game. I loved the girl's blonde hair flowing behind her. I was like, I want that to be me one day. I want to be in a convertible with long blonde hair, and I have long blonde hair, but I don't have a convertible. And yeah, and I probably haven't played that for a few years. I think I went to an arcade. There's like this old-timey, awesome arcade here in San Francisco. When I say old-timey, I mean like it's got stuff in there that is probably from like the 20s. It's amazing. And then they've got stuff all the way up until recent. And so they have a cruising machine. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And same with Galaga. They have a Galaga machine as well. And I was all over it. But also, this isn't really classic retro game. Now I'm kind of going off into arcades. I was a huge pinball fan. I loved pinball. Indiana Jones and Star Wars ones were my favorites. And we used to, you know, when I was little, we'd go to Chuck E. Cheese all the time. Or Showbiz Pizza, depending on where you lived. And they had both pinball machines right beside each other. So I'd play, and then I'd just scoot over and play, and then play. I loved pinball when I was little. I still do, actually. Every year in California, they have the, oh god, I can't remember what it's called, but they have this, like, convention of all old arcade games that have been refurbished and upkept, and they're all just, you pay one flat fee to get in, and I think it's called, like, California Extreme or something. You go in and you just play all these great arcade games, and they have all these old pinball games, and yeah, it's awesome. Pretty great. Well, guys, that is it for this week. I think I've talked your ear off enough. Remember, this chat has been moved to Wednesday. Not Thursday, but Wednesday. Same place on Ustream, same time, 3 o'clock. It's just the days have changed. And I hope to see all of you there. And again, I love getting your questions. And if you have any more questions for me, feel free to email them to me at rachelmoore@gmail.com, because I never check my YouTube mail. And don't forget to give me a follow on Twitter, which is just twitter.com/therachel. And talk to me on there. And yeah, as always, love you guys.